Most people waste money on their first shortwave radio, not because they buy a bad one, because they buy it backwards. They look at band coverage, see a huge list of frequencies, and assume more bands means a better radio. It doesn't. Whether you actually enjoy shortwave comes down to four things: tuning, single sideband, the antenna, and how much electrical noise is around you. The simple answer up front: for most people buying fresh in 2026, the radio to get is the Texsun PL520. But before you buy it, one question decides whether you're actually most people or one of the exceptions. Are you just curious? Are you serious about deeper listening? Or are you buying mainly for emergencies? Let's start with the radio most people should buy. The Texsun PL520 is the safe default because it hands beginners the features they usually discover they needed all along, without forcing them into a big, expensive receiver. It covers AM, FM, longwave, and shortwave, but coverage isn't why it's the pick. It's the control. You get single sideband, or SSR, synchronous detection, which can help with fading AM and shortwave signals, selectable bandwidths to cut through interference, and a numeric keypad so you can punch in a frequency directly instead of spinning past it. There's ETM Plus, Texsun's easy tuning mode, which scans and stores the stations actually active at the time of day you're listening. And it charges over USB-C in a body small enough to drop in a bag. But here's the honest part. The PL520 is not a big reception upgrade over the older PL330. Think of it as the nicer, fresh buy version. USB-C instead of micro USB, a kickstand, a better feeling case, a couple of extra bandwidths, and small usability tweaks. Same class of receiver, just nicer to live with. So the rule is simple. Buying new today, get the PL520. But if the PL330 is meaningfully cheaper where you shop, it's still a smart value co-pick. The mistake to avoid is judging it indoors 5 minutes out of the box on the telescopic whip. Shortwave hates a house full of LED bulbs, routers, phone chargers, and cheap power bricks. That noise floor buries weak signals and makes good radio feel broken. The PL520 also has an FM shortwave external antenna jack, so before you blame the receiver, take it near a window, step outside, or clip on a few feet of wire. It's not perfect. The speaker is small. The built-in BL5C battery isn't as grab-and-go as a radio that runs on AA cells, and there's no NOAA weather band. But for casual listening, travel, learning the bands, and not regretting your first purchase a month later, this is where I'd start. That's the smart default, but some people should spend a lot less. The XH Data D219 is for the genuinely curious, not curious but secretly planning a listening station. I mean, you want to sit outside at night, turn a knob, catch a few foreign stations, and find out whether shortwave is even your thing before spending real money. That's exactly what this does. It's cheap, it runs on AA batteries, and it doesn't pretend to be more than it is. AM, FM, and shortwave with simple controls. No menus, no keypad, no single sideband. First mistake to avoid: buying the wrong version. For the US and the Americas, get the 10 kHz AM step version. That's what you need for correct medium wave tuning. Second, don't expect precision. This is for exploring broadcast shortwave, not logging ham or utility signals. And if that's where you're actually headed, don't force the budget pick. The serious section is coming. If you want a better learning radio, but still don't care about SSB, step up to the Texsun PL310ET. Keypad entry, station memories, selectable bandwidths, ETM scanning, and AA batteries. But if you're already near that price and SSB might matter to you, skip the middle step and go straight to the PL520. That's how you avoid buying twice. Now, the serious pick, because this is where shortwave buyers either overspend or underbuy. The Sangean ATS 909X2 is for the person who already knows shortwave is going to be a real hobby. You don't need SSB to hear the big international broadcasters. You need it for ham radio voice, utility stations, marine and aviation HF, and the deeper listening where ordinary AM tuning just falls apart. And yes, the PL520 already has SSB, so moving up to the Sangean isn't about getting SSB at all. It's about everything around it: a bigger chassis, the airband, far more memories, real RF gain, radio frequency gain, manual bandwidth control, AA batteries, and a layout built for long sessions instead of quick check-ins. When you're sitting down at night with an external wire comparing signals and learning the bands, the Sangean feels like a more serious instrument. The mistake here is buying it first because more expensive must mean better. For casual listening, it's overkill. The PL520 is already enough for most people. The catch is price. It's several times more expensive than the Texan, and it's still a portable, not a tabletop receiver or SDR setup. Buy it only if you genuinely care about SSB, real controls, and long-haul listening comfort. If you want most of that broadcast enjoyment for less, the Texan PL880 is the cheaper alternative. A bigger speaker feel that a lot of people find more comfortable for the money. But for the serious SSB category specifically, the Sangean is the stronger pick. If this already saved you from buying the wrong radio, hit like. It tells me to make more no-nonsense buyer guides like this. Now, the emergency pick. And here we have to be honest. The Kaito KA500 is not the best shortwave receiver in this video. It's the best emergency crossover. That distinction matters. When things actually go wrong, NOAA weather, power options, and a flashlight matter more than how well you can chase a faint broadcast at midnight. The KA500 gives you AM, FM, shortwave, NOAA weather, hand crank, and solar charging. A USB output to top up a phone, AA backup, plus a built-in flashlight and reading light. It's an emergency tool first and a shortwave radio second, and that's the whole point. The mistake is buying it as your main listening radio. It's analog, there's no SSB, and the crank is a backup, not a daily power source. For a storm kit, a cabin, or a go bag, it's the right call. For listening quality, get the PL520 or the Sangean. If you want an emergency radio that's receiver first, the premium pick is the C. Crane CC Skywave SSB2. It gives you shortwave with SSB, NOAA weather alert, the aviation band, keypad entry, and AA batteries. A far better receiver, but no crank, no solar, no flashlight. So don't mix the two up. The Kaito is the survival tool. The C. Crane is the premium information receiver. And if shortwave honestly doesn't matter to you at all, a pure weather radio like the Midland ER310 is a cleaner buy than either. Before you buy, 3 mistakes to dodge no matter which radio you pick. 1. Don't shop by band count. A radio can list world band and still be miserable to tune. 2. Don't spend on a fancy active antenna on day 1. Your real problem is usually where you're listening, not what you're listening with. 3. Don't expect shortwave to behave like FM. Time of night, season, location, and antenna all change what comes through. A frequency that's silent at noon can be booming at midnight. So here's the clean call. For most people, buying fresh, the Texan PL520. Just curious and spending as little as possible, the XH Data D219, and double check it's the 10 kHz version for the Americas. Want the same general idea as the PL520 for less, and the PL330 is cheaper near you? Grab that instead. Serious about SSB and the bands beyond broadcast? The Sangean ATS 909X2. Building an emergency kit? The Kaito KA500. Want a receiver-first radio that still covers emergencies? The C. Crane Skywave SSB2. The one rule that keeps you from regret. Don't buy for the fantasy version of how you'll use this radio. Buy for the listener you actually are right now. Get that right, and you'll open the box already sure you picked the correct one. No second guessing, no upgrade itch a month later. Current prices and the exact versions are linked in the description because stock and sellers move around constantly. And if you're wondering whether you should skip portables completely and buy an SDR instead, watch the shortwave radio versus SDR video next, because for some listeners, an SDR is the smarter setup, but for others, it's just a more complicated way to hear the same noise.